Through one of the most self-conscious generations in history, and I genuinely think the culprit of this is social media. The fact that whenever you open your phone, you're seeing someone else's highlight reel, because most times people aren't posting their fails on the internet. They're not posting the bad shit that they go through. I mean, YouTube is the one spot like you might see like people actually give the raw insights into their life. But if you open up your Instagrams, your Twitters, getting TikTok, all of these, all you're seeing is either funny stuff or the best parts of people's lives. And it just can't help but make you feel like you're doing something wrong. Because I know, especially for the men, you see a guy that's making more money than you, or he's bigger than you, or you might think he's smarter than you, and you feel the incessant need to compete with this guy. Or for the ladies, the beauty standard that they feel that they have to live up to is just unfathomable, because they're seeing girls with lip injections, BBLs, fake bodies, or like 1 in a million women that just aren't realistic, and like certain things just aren't attainable for most people. And like that's okay. You just have to maximize what you can. And I found that the more I think about it, the more I realize whenever I'm feeling self-conscious, it's because I feel like I have to compare myself to other people. It's almost like an involuntary reaction to just compare yourself to other men. Like me, I'm on my way to the gym, and that's why I felt the need to make this, because I'm like, oh, why did I originally start going to the gym? Well, I used to get made fun of for being super skinny. So I just like, you know what? I'm going to show them. I'm going to get big. And then I got big. But now I keep pushing myself further and further. And I'm like, enough is not enough. And I really ask myself, why is enough never enough? And it comes down to me feeling like there's people out there who have physiques that are so much better than mine that I just have to keep going. Like, that's part of it for me. And that's me being honest with myself. Because the other part of it is, yes, I genuinely want to keep improving my physique, get a little bit bigger, get more functional, athletic, all of this, right? But a huge part of it is also, I open up Instagram, I'm seeing 14 billion dudes that are bigger than me. Granted, a lot of them are not natural, obviously, but it's still the fact that it's there. It makes you want to compare yourself. And then once you do it for long enough, it becomes involuntary. It just becomes habit for you to open up like, oh, yep, there's more work to do. Even though, like, this is why body dysmorphia is so prevalent, right? People can't be content with themselves. Like, no matter how good your physique is, you could have a 1 in a million physique, but because there's someone out there who by chance is just going to look better than you do, you feel like you aren't good enough. That's why people are always looking in the mirror like, oh, my arms aren't big enough, or oh, like for the girls, my ass isn't fat enough. This is why. Social media is exactly why. And I feel like the more of a step back that I've taken from social media, the happier I've been with myself. Like, the only times I really use social media is when I'm trying to post something, or if I want like a spark of creativity, like an idea of something to post, right? And I feel like that's a healthy way to go about it for most people. If you find yourself being very self-conscious, always judging yourself and comparing yourself to others, try taking a big step back from social media. What I found to help me was just turning off notifications for social media. When you don't have the notification of someone going live on Instagram, or you don't have TikTok notifications, you just forget these apps exist. So you just don't feel the need to go death scroll and compare yourself into a mental hell anymore. And another way you can go about it is what I also do, which is just go on the app when you want to post something, when you have an idea or you're feeling confident in yourself. Go put yourself out there. But in doing so, don't do it for the vanity metric of, oh, like, I want people to say I look good, or, oh, I want people to praise me. Do it simply because you want to. Because that's most of why I post now. Like, on YouTube, I'm posting because it's kind of like a little video diary for me. And I feel like my advice might help someone one day, right? But the reason I post on, like, the TikToks and the Instagrams and stuff is like, oh, I feel like I have a good physique. I feel like my workouts are sound. I feel like this would motivate people to either start working out, or, you know what? I wonder if I can look like this guy who's actually natural, who's giving me the tips and the steps I can take to better my own physique. I'm more so doing it to try and motivate others, and not like, oh, I want 100, I want 1,000 likes, I want people in the comments telling me I look amazing. Because who fucking cares? As long as you're content with yourself, That's all that matters. And I've gotten to that point now to where it's like, I've worked my physique up to a point to where I can look at myself in the mirror and be confident. But at the same time, I still do suffer from I feel like there's more work to do, partially because I'm comparing myself to other people who a lot of them are not natural. And then the other part is I'm doing it for me. But the key distinction is, don't lie to yourself and tell yourself, I'm strictly just doing all of this for me, because I'm going to be honest, for most people, you aren't just doing it for yourself. If you are, please teach me the secret if you are 100% just doing it for yourself. But a lot of times, even if it's just like 10% of you is doing it because you want to compare, like, not you want to, but you can't help but compare yourself to other people. Damn, how long was the sun beaming like that? I'm so sorry, right? But I digress. The moral of the story here is, social media is the reason why a lot of us in Gen Z, a lot of young bulls, are out here in such a terrible mental state, feeling like they're so behind in life, like they're not doing good enough, like their physique isn't good enough, like they need to go get their fucking lip injections and shit. That's just not how it rocks. That's just not how it should be. The human brain was never designed to take the criticisms and the comparisons of millions of people at a time. We weren't designed to be able to open up our phone and see 10 people that look better than us, or are richer than us, or are in a better spot in life than us. Who cares? Where you're at is exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Because life is a progressive journey. Like, and another part you got to look at, right? Sorry, I'm all over the place, but these are just, it's flown into my brain, right? You never know the circumstances that someone was born into, right? So you could see this person that has a great physique on Instagram, not knowing that they just have like God tier genetics. Or you could see someone that's balling out. They're getting a new car every other month, right? You don't know what type of financial situation they were born into, if that is the case. Or maybe they're just doing something completely different from you. That shouldn't discourage you from continuing on your own journey. Because at the end of the day, the only way you're going to get to your desired outcome is by putting in the work on your own journey. Discouraging yourself by thinking you're behind because you're comparing yourself to people who had a different life path than you, who had a different starting point than you, doesn't make sense. Of course, you're going to be mentally distraught if you're comparing yourself to people who you don't even know their situation. And they don't know you either, nor do they really care. Like, a lot of them are just trying to make money off of us anyway, right? I digress again. I'm a certified yapper. Apologies in advance. But if you do find yourself falling into these mental traps, take a step back from social media. Actually ask yourself, why am I death scrolling? Why am I posting things? Do I actually want to make content? Like, what would make me feel content with myself? And a lot of times it's going to be, you know what? Let me take a step back from this, actually, because you hear a lot of people say they're going to do a dopamine detox, step away from social media, but they never actually do. But I encourage you to actually try it, in the sense of just turn off your notifications and watch your screen time go down. Watch you forget these apps even exist. And I promise it will bring you significantly more mental clarity. And if not, you can come back here and flame me in the comments. I give you full permission. If that does not work, come flame me. After finding a method that works for you. You can flame me if mine don't work, but you have to go find a method that works for you, because I refuse to let you leave this video without you having some semblance of a plan to better your own mental health. Because I promise, comparing yourself to these people on social media is going to get you absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.